Welcome to part 2. Welcome to a new vlog. I hope you enjoyed last week's video. I couldn't leave here with these conditions without filming another part. So my shot I just took was just back there. And you see this tree here, this big tall beech here. Even looking that way, using this tree in my right hand side of my frame. I might have to come all over this way, trying to eliminate the left hand side, but even that works. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice walk, a long walk round back to the car, and see if we can't find something else. So when I'm looking for compositions, I do tend to tell people to look further into the distance, because that is where lots of times in the woods you see little splashes of colour down here. I've noticed there's some little low hanging spurs on trees and new growth on trees, so I think what I'm going to do is head over there and just see if I can isolate a new low-hanging spur. If we get some bluebells and a little bit of mist, that'd be even better. But the sun is very harsh now; it's very high in the sky, and that mist is not going to hang around for very long. So, but I'm not going to rush. If you'd watched last week's video, I'll link it up here. I've already had the best out of the morning, I think. Although that mist is hanging around. I feel like I've reached enlightenment already, so this is going to be more of a how do I approach a woodland photography and how do I scout, and just try and show you a little bit about what's going on in my head. And like I said, I will walk up through this section here, which is going to take me to a shot I've already shot before, and but I think we'll have another go at that. Hopefully there's some bluebells around it. So I found a right cracking little scene. It's sort of lit from above with mist, the valley in the background. I've got a nice tree which has got some new growth on, a tree on the left, and them two trees are sort of stopping the eye, shooting off to the left and right. Only thing is, I would have liked to include this tree on the far left, but it's just too wide and introducing too much sky, I think. So yeah, it's a really nice scene. I've got a nice tree in the far distance. It's got a bit of silver on it, and the mist and the fog's just causing like a nice glow from the harsh light above. This shot is going to be gone in a matter of minutes. Yeah, it's just a really nice scene. F16, a tenth of a second. I'm shooting slightly to the left because the leaves are backlit by that sun, harsh sun above, and I'm trying to control that. I know that the rest of the scene I can lift and jig about in post, but then if I've blown them whites, them highlights in them backlit leaves in my top right hand frame, I've had it. So I'm being very cautious of them, and then I'm shooting. The image is just being shot around them. Yeah, it's really nice and atmospheric. Really nice. 2-second timer. may we. So here you can see my shot and reason why I chose this image. You can see up at above here all that sort of haze and harsh light above, and the haze is sort of cutting through that and causing like a nice, really nice mist. F16 a tenth of a second, ISO 100, and I've focused down on this tree here. Got some nice bluebells here. I don't particularly like this area here. Maybe I would have liked to have gone a bit tighter, but I don't want to walk in all these bluebells. So, and if I go in tighter with a longer lens, say put the 70-200 on, I lose too much on the side here. What I really want to do is get closer and go out a bit wider, but then I introduce a bit of sky. So I think this is the best situation, and I'm just clicking off the shutter, taking several different images, well, several different exposures, trying to keep it around the same, but just trying to capture a different light. Now it's getting very harsh. These highlights I was talking to you about, they are starting to clip now, I would say. So I think this shot is about done. So what I'm going to do now is just move on and see what else we can find. This is just one of them mornings where it's just absolutely fruitful. You see what I'm looking at? Not entirely sure I can make it work though. It's not a long lens on, but it's very hard to frame it up. You almost want to sort of try and isolate it, which is as near on as possible. Maybe I'll leave this one alone for another day. But it's a shame because it's really nice. So I've settled on this composition initially, but because I was struggling to sort of isolate this lovely tree here. I still think this is not really a shot here. If I just scroll through my menus, you can see down here. I'll show you actually on the playback. F16, focus on this tree, the background, give me everything nice and sharp. I didn't notice. Don't like that. Don't like this log really, if I'm honest. Don't know if I'm just being picky or not. I do quite like the composition, but I don't like this log down here. I'm losing the haze a little bit now, and these highlights are very hard to control. Let me just show you my histogram. I'm shooting to the left, and as far as I can see, I'm not getting any blinkies. That glare is quite harsh, and I would use a polarizer, but I don't really think this shot is worth the time, in my opinion. It's only going to get worse, and that atmosphere is slowly burning off. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move on now and see if I can find one more image back up where I told you earlier where I shot a previous image. Yeah, and then we'll head back to the car. So I totally lied. I've gone into portrait. I'm shooting that tree that I was just showing you a minute ago. F16 around a 30th of a second. I am bracketing just because, as a safety net, I don't really think I need to, but them little leaves are very very harsh. I don't want to use a polarizer because the scene is quite dark. There's a little bit of movement, so yeah, I don't think I'm going to use a polarizer. But yeah, in F16, this image is going to look like a painting. It's going to be nice and crisp. I'm going to try and process it really dark and moody, and use that bit of atmosphere that's still lingering around that thicker part of the woods. And this is why I've stuck here. I'm not shooting bluebells anymore because they're in wide open scenes. The land is very harsh. Whereas if I shoot something like this, I'm intimate. I'm picking out a little vignette of a scene, and it's all about experience and using that little bit of knowledge and knowing where to point your camera. Yeah, this is going to look. I think this is going to look really nice. Following on the theme of this morning, from last week's video to this. Yeah, this is one of the best mornings I've had in a long time. Absolute long time. Mental. So here's my shot. See, that's the sort of base exposure. I've got dark exposure, which is hard to see for you, and then no, sorry, that is the base exposure. That's the dark exposure, and that's the light exposure. So I will probably only end up using this shot, but you can see by the way it's dark. If I just go to the brighter one again. These trees here, although on this vlogging camera it looks like they've gone into black, but they haven't. And I know for a fact that this A7R4, I can bring them files out no trouble. My main thought is to keep this exposure right. Don't blow in these little highlights, because that shot would ruin the shot. It's all about these highlights and this atmosphere. You see, it's almost got like a little bluey colour cast to it, a cold colour cast. That is the hazy atmosphere that's down there, and it's gone now. But if I show you, these are all my shots, so you can see the light just kissing these leaves, which is what I want, and that's going to make it feel like a painting with that atmosphere in and around here. Yeah, this is going to be. I think this is going to be a real good one to edit. And you can see my exposures. I'm shooting under. My histogram is way off to the left. My brightest exposure is a third, 3/4 of a stop underneath what my light meter is saying, because I'm trying to use this as my start and my base point to where I want to shoot this shot. F16, because I've got that mist. That mist is naturally going to give me fall off, and I want this murder sharp. So F16, like I've already said in previous videos, 7200 2.8. F16 is absolutely pucker. So yeah. Right, I don't even know if I'm going to get to this this shot yet. I've barely moved from this morning. It's just so peaceful here. Right, let's get going. So I found a nice scene. It is a Bluebell, stereotypical Bluebell shot, and I wanted to finish the video on something like this because this just sums up the morning. There still is a little bit of atmosphere, believe it or not. I am using a low-hanging spur, like off a beech tree, like I said I wanted to get. The hill disappears, so the sky is creeping down, so that's why I am shooting quite tight, and I'm trying to eliminate the sky, and I've just missed that a little bit. Light is fleeting in and out, and it is absolutely stunning. Got layers of bluebells, a little bits of green in between the bluebells, and some nice trees on the left. I'm shooting f11. I'm focusing on this slightly nearer tree, and that's given me enough depth of field to hit my my main subject, which is the spurred tree, and then it's going to fall off. I don't want, because there's not as much atmosphere anymore over this side of the woods, I don't want all them distractions down in the far distance. I want to be able to isolate them. So what I'm going to do now is a nice bit of light on this tree again, and shoot the light. This is what you've got to do, is you've got to shoot for that light. And lucky enough for me, it is fleeting in and out, so I am getting several opportunities to shoot this image. But yeah, it is a stereotypical Bluebell shot. Right, thank you so much for watching. This video could go on forever, and I've got to get back to the car. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Photoninja. This is a local woods near me, famous for bluebells. Yeah, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you are interested in the Bluebell workshop, if you are interested in a woodland workshop with me, a link down below to my website, and we'll get you booked in for a one-to-one or a small group. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy your Sunday. Ciao. So I'm so glad I stayed around and took this shot. It's just typical Bluebell shot, but I do think it's one of my best shots I've taken, and definitely rivals last week. Separation, the light, the way I edited it, it all come together, and there was plenty of mist, and atmosphere, and I just managed to catch the light as it glanced the subject, which is that fresh bit of growth on that beech tree. It's got a nice amount of bluebells in and around as layers, and yeah, just really just over the moon with this. And yeah, this is going to go. I think this is going to do well as a print, and which is always a bonus. And I'm just so happy. And this shot is a little bonus shot. In the woods that I tend to frequent, there's like these little I think they're called one dikes. They're like little trenches in and around the woods, and as you can see from this shot, it's just a natural leading line, and I was getting nice afterglow, nice light which was illuminating the ever thinning mist, and it sort of vanishes off into the distance. And it's just a really nice Bluebell image, lots of atmosphere, lots of layers, lots to look at, and it really shows off my local woods. If anyone's ever been to the woods, West Woods, they should spot this, just because like I said, of the ones, I think they're called one dikes, and they're just absolutely amazing. And in Bluebells, it really sets it off. So yeah. Little bonus image for you. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making these two, part 1 and part 2, and there is a part 3, so stick around for it might be next week or the week after. I am away on holiday, so it could be the week after, but just stick around because it is a part 3. Yeah, so once again, I'll say thank you very much for supporting me. Workshops are available from my website, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, so it really helps the YouTube algorithm. And thank you so much to everyone who supported me recently, and I will see you next week. Ciao.